Hey, it's December Daily Eve. Woo! I thought that today I would finish up my intro page. So let me pull it out. I created this. You're going to have to excuse the dogs behind me again. You know, they're always really loud. Apollo, baby. I think I want to change this out for this one. So I created this pocket a few weeks back. Oh no, it's starting to come apart. I will have to fix that. Maybe put some red line tape there. And in here I think is just some ribbons that I thought about using. So this is going to be my intro and reason why. Let me put this over here. And so I did this off camera. I was just kind of feeling a little bit crafty and nostalgic. This paper is a little bit warped because I heat embossed all these extra little stars on here. So I just took the 10x8 paper that came in the kit that said December on it. I heat embossed in gold some of these little starburst things. Those came off of, where is it? I'll get my fat fingers in there. This is this little star off of the stamp set. And it was a perfect match, I thought, for these already gold stars. So I just got my little stamp block and my Versamark ink and stamped on there. Our puppy really likes his bones, but he drops them a lot. Can't get those back in the hole. It'll be fine. So what I did is I took one of the chipboard circles and I cut it in half and added this Making New Traditions to enjoy for years to come. I might not switch that out. Let's see. I think I might use this one instead. These things just don't really make me excited about this page. So what this reason why is, we lost my beautiful mother-in-law in June of this year to pancreatic cancer. And it kind of took her fast. Because my wife and I are both medical people. She's a paramedic and I'm a RN. We both knew when she got the diagnosis last November that pancreatic cancer, you know, goes pretty fast and takes usually whoever gets it. So last Christmas, I didn't even start on my December daily because we kind of scrambled around trying to make sure that we spent time together with her, and we were both working bedside then, and so I ended up working for my wife in the ER so that she could spend Christmas with her mom. So this year's Christmas is different for us, and we're trying to find some new joys while also looking at those traditions that her mom had for her, as well as trying to find some joy in this holiday season because it is going to be a very tough one. So my reason why is going to be a letter to my mother-in-law, and I'm going to also have my family write down their favorite Christmas memory with Rose. So this is Rose. I found this photo in my stash of photos. I'm going to use this photo, but I'm going to reprint it because I want to put it on this circle because I really feel like it sitting inside here will be really pretty. And then I'm also going to have my family pick their favorite photo of Rose to put on the back of some tags to stick down inside there, and that's where these come into play. So they'll kind of stick out the top. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. get this photo printed and then get some journaling typed and get a couple of tags made for that. So I'm going to put you on fast forward and get that stuff done. All right, so let's see. I need to put something in this pocket. And I'm just flipping through these 3x8 cards that came. They're journaling cards in transparencies. And I said it in one of my previous videos, and I'm going to say it again. I really wish these were not pre-punched because it kind of limits where you can put them. And it takes up some of the space. If you wanted to just stick that in a pocket, like, there's holes in it. And I end up having to cover them up here. So I did sort through a few of my papers that I had shopped from my stash that just came from paper pads. And this is a ledger paper that came in the main kit. And then I'm just measuring these. They are going to stick up, but that's okay. And I've just picked a few that would go okay with the theme and have a spot for journaling. I'm going to give those to my family to do their own little reason why or their own little letter to my mother-in-law. And so I took that upstairs and I typed out my journaling on the typewriter. And I have quite a few typos, which is fine. There's no backspace on a typewriter. I will apologize now. I yawned. I'm sorry. I took my melatonin already. So I'm just sifting through trying to find something to embellish the bottom of this tag. Because I always forget that writing with the typewriter takes up less room than if you hand wrote it or printed it out. Because there's only one size font. So this is my reason why. I have put down a gold heart sticker that says what matters. I'm using these black alphas. I think these came in the advent calendar. And you see me just trying to make sure I have enough letters to spell out reason why. And then I still feel like there's something missing. So here in just a minute. Oh, no, here I go right now. I pulled out these rub-ons from Tim Holtz, and this one says special delivery. Since this was kind of a letter to her, I put that on there. Rubbing it on. And I love these. I wish that I had 6 million of them for every season, every holiday, every everything. Then I pulled out my stamps. This one says Hello December. And then I found a little, like, Christmas tree. And then, like, a pine bough or whatever. And then these tiny word stickers. I do not know what that one says. Maybe it says these moments or something like that. Put that down there, and then I'm cutting the corners off from my tag, which it always makes me super nervous. Then I'm stapling on my ribbon that I'd already pre-selected. This page, so before I edited this video, it was over an hour long. And it probably took me longer than that with the journaling, and then my sewing machine decided to act crazy, so I had to fix it. So what can go wrong will. Like, I pulled this out of the album and the pocket was not adhered all the way. So now I've got these Simple Stories plastic circly things. I don't remember what they're called, but I think they're meant for you as a guide to cut your photos down. And I wish that I had pulled this photo into Canva and put the circle over the top so I could really see what it was going to look like covered. Because the circles that I have from Simple Stories are not the same size as this circle for the pocket. And so the photo wasn't big enough, and it looked funny being white when everything else was cream. So I got my ink out and thought I would just ink up the edges, but then the red wasn't the same. So I pulled out some paper, glued it down, cut around it. It's still not great, but it's just going to have to work. It's not stark white. It's not super bright red. It's just gonna have to work. In a year when I'm flipping through this album, I won't care. But now the photo, it doesn't fit in the pocket like I had envisioned. And again, you know, next week I probably won't even care what it looks like, but today I did. And here in a minute you're gonna see me fiddle with this and fuss with it and try to get it in, because the pocket covers up half of her face. But then I have to fix this pocket. And then I'm just making sure that I didn't glue it shut, because I do stuff like that. Now I'm just going to fiddle some more. Well, I left this in so that you can see just how long I contemplated, is this right, is it not? And then I finally was just like, you know, it's going to be fine. It's Rose, she's beautiful, it's okay. And moved on to my opening page. I like to start my albums with a vellum or an acetate or something like that. And so I had pulled several pieces of vellum. Oh, I'm yawning again, I'm sorry. Ooh, I took my melatonin already. I pulled several pieces of vellum from my stash. That a lot of them had gold on them, but this one had white words. It kind of reminds me of snow. And they say really sweet things like joy in the little things, family is everything, stuff like that. And I called this an acrylic word in my outro, but it's not, obviously. It's acetate. And I wanted to use it because it's one of my favorite things. And Allie said, use the stuff. So I am. I'm going to lay it over the top of that vellum with that green strip that is a quote from the Grinch. And I'm just measuring out the vellum so I can cut it down. Because who wants to actually measure something with a ruler? Not I. Now you see me with the ruler, but this is just me trying to find the center-ish, because if you've watched my December daily prep and play videos, I had epic fails with acetate, and one of the main reasons I didn't get anything productive done is because I didn't measure. So now I'm just adhering the tops and the bottoms of some of these little pieces of this word with some red line tape, since it is outside of the page protector. And this acetate is a little bit delicate. If it catches, it's going to rip. But I want to sew through it, so I didn't put any in the middle. Luckily, this is a colored acetate, and you can't really see the glue. But I struggled trying to get this red line tape on and the backing off, and me and tape are just not friends. Me and this tape runner, this Tombow tape runner, struggled as well. I don't know what it is about tape runners and red line tape, but it's like my kryptonite. So now I'm just lining that up with the dots that I put on. And then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine. And I sewed that down with some gold thread. Then I had to do surgery on my sewing machine. But I fixed it. I'm so excited. I think the tension was off, and the feed dogs were full of like felt, because I tried to sew with felt and it just kind of ate up the felt. So I would not recommend you doing that if you don't have a walking foot for your sewing machine, but that's for another day. Now I'm just trying to clean up my mess a little bit. Red line tape pieces everywhere. Just making sure these look okay together. And when I tried to do that, I flipped off these little stars that I had on the pocket with the piece of vellum. So I'm gluing that down with some 5-in-1 or Fabrifix or Fabri-Tac or whatever you call it. Gluing that down. That's what I've adhered the chipboard circle to the felt pocket with. And hoping that they stay. I don't know what I stuck those to the... Oh, I'm so sorry. To the pocket with. I think it must have just been the adhesive that came on the pocket. So now here I've got this letter that my wife wrote to her mom. And I need to cover up the holes because they came pre-punched. So I pulled this washi from, I think, a Heritage washi collection. And I'm just covering the holes with it. And I think I'm going to use the gold tape from this year's kit. And now that I'm seeing this, I keep forgetting I have that little turtle full of gold watercolor. I should have splattered it somewhere. It's okay. I need to remember to use that. And so the back side has the holes from the front side washi. I just covered it up with some more washi. I'm going to cover the back of this with a photo. I just don't know which one yet. Added a little tab that says special. But when you stick it in the pocket, it's way too big. Because I don't measure. It's fine. So I decide I want to take a little bit off the top and the bottom because I do like the green stripes that are on the bottom of this card. And I think that it with the tree kind of ties in nicely. And so I take a little off the top, a little off the bottom, reattach the tab, but move it over to the side. And honestly, I kind of like it over to the side better. I had to move it over to the side because it would have covered up part of the tree. But I do think it turns out better that way. And then here in a minute, I'm going to fiddle with that photo of Rose again for a very long time. To try and figure out if I like it. Then I'm going to, I think I cut that part out. I'm going to punch some holes after I clean up a little. And then we're going to go to the outro. So thanks for hanging out. Okay, I think I'm done for the night. This took longer than I expected, especially given that I already had the page basically done. I should probably have made more foundation pages given that it has taken so long, but that's fine. You can probably hear the dryer in the background. Also fine. So I just did a piece of vellum. This, I really like it because it says, find joy in the little things. Write your story, family first, happy, always do your best. And so I sewed the acrylic Mary, and maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. I always like to start my albums with a vellum or an acetate, and the Epic Fails with the acetate. This stuff, look guys, this just flew. It's the backing for the red line tape. Not only did it take forever to get it off of the red line tape, but now I can't get the backing off of me. And then in here, I just have these cards, which I've not decided what's going to go on the back here yet. I might try to find a photo of them together and do something cool in Canva with it. I'm just going to hold this up because I don't know that I can read it without getting tearful. There are some typos in here, but it's fine. So, all right. This is my intro and reason why. Tomorrow is December Daily, and I'm so excited. All right, thanks for hanging out in the Crafty Nook. I'll see you next time.